At this point, I think I just need to move on. I'm not finding anything. And maybe this will connect. The last sticker might just be after this bridge, which I was like afraid to do because I don't want to continue the story and get like locked in or something. But maybe I have to. Bridge exploded. New area. Let's go. Final area? Oop, there goes that. I'm just filling it. I have to fill it in. How could I not? Imagine what would happen if they didn't reset your powers each game. Like, Samus is so cartoonishly powerful at the end of this game. What would you even do with her? So that door needs to be opened, apparently. Any surprises? This is a dashy spot. That's a surprise. I blew it up without having to even, like, plan it. Huh. Is that just 'cause? No. Ba-da-da, ba-da-ba-da-ba-da-ba. Just do the wrong jingles from the wrong game. 100%. What the fuck is that? What are you? Whatever, I got 100%. So it can't be that important, I guess. That should be 100% of every zone? Yeah. I am maximum Samus, so 725 and 15. Ooh. And your health stops one nub short of lining up with the energy bar. Oh no. They couldn't just give you one more? Just one more? Alright. Oh, here comes one of those guys again. Now I'm wondering if the final boss is going to be almost trivial because of having just like a mountain of health and missiles. I'm thinking not still, just because you die so fast in this game. Like you can lose like an entire nub every time you get hit. This guy's probably just chill. It's just the usual dude. I've got so many of these. Wait, is your shield invulnerable? Does that destroy your shield? This hurts you through your shield, it looks like. Yeah, I'm taking a lot of damage here. Oh, that's... Okay, so when he does the shield thing, that's when he's counterable. I might have to do a counter to destroy his shield. He seems invulnerable. Ah, that's not the one. Yeah, whenever he swoops his staff around, I can't counter him. Ah, fuck. I'm reacting to it too early. Oh. I have to wait to see which move he's doing. Shield me. Oh, too early. Who's obnoxiously invulnerable? Yeah, I'm almost dead already, so exactly what I said. Ah, fuck. I didn't read it in time. Damn it. I don't want him getting that close to me. I want to run away. I want to not get hit by attacks. Call me crazy. Yep. Oh yeah, you got 1 billion items? Well, enemies are becoming increasingly invulnerable to literally everything, so your stats are meaningless. I see what you did, game. I can hit him then. God damn it. It's so delayed, but it's also really fast when it does start. That's hard. Ah, I reacted wrong. I just could have saw his staff move. God damn it. Feels designed in a lab to be hard to time. God damn it. How is that still wrong? Is the dash not it? Do I have to slam him the moment he hits the ground? That's what it is. How am I supposed to know that? Normally that's just announcing that something's going to be counterable, then you counter the attack. But you don't counter the attack, you're supposed to smack his shield. Well, that's unclear. Whatever, I got it now. I'm just used to this at this point. Even when they're fun, Metroid bosses are kind of unfair the first multiple attempts, and then you finally like, okay, I finally get what's happening after I've died 4 times. Ah, damn it. So I don't get a chance to hit him necessarily. Ah, he did it again. But hopefully eventually the shield just breaks. Until then I can try to do chip damage, but it's not going to be much. Yeah. Ah, shit. Ah, what? So it's based on your location. I thought he landed on the sides of the level. That's where I'm standing. Can you break? Am I doing it wrong? Is there a follow-up move I'm supposed to do? It's like really specific. Is he taking damage? I want to know. I don't like the lack of clarity of whether or not he's taking damage. I feel like that's kind of important information. It glows blue. What the fuck does that mean? What does that mean? Oh, shit. I'm still learning this fight. Alright. Ah, I fucked it up. I get it, though. I get it. I get it. I understand. There you go. Fuck you! Now I know what's going on. Don't die or I have to do it again. Granted, I'll do it way better this time. Ah, damn it. Yeah, 4th one. Damn it! I keep thinking there's patterns, and then he changes his mind. It's like, actually, no. I don't do a set number of attacks. Even when I thought I figured out the fight, I was still wrong about what I was supposed to do. But now I'm there. So I can defeat the shield in one go now. I just need to wait for him to actually use it. Yeah, fuck, there we go. I don't know what does more damage. How do you even tell? Is it my shooty shoot or is it my missile? I don't know. The game doesn't tell you what damage is, so you just gotta guess. / read a wiki where somebody else explains it because they took like 3 hours to research it via... I'm not even sure. I guess counting how many attacks it took to do the boss, which is counterproductive. That's when you've already beaten it. Yeah. Again? No, not again. Yeah. Oh god. Have I ever messed that up? I don't think I've ever messed up that finisher. Oh, yeah, the first time. Literally the first time, yeah. So it's not automated. But it's forgiving enough that I think I've, like, really fucked it up and still gotten away with it. Whew. New place? No. Hang on a minute. It's a locked door that I have to beat the boss for. Okay. I just, at the moment of realizing, like, I never got to my ship. It's like, it stands out a lot. I think I'd want to go there. But no, we're not supposed to have gotten my ship yet. I have to beat the boss first. Moving on with that, it seems weird. I feel like that's a criticism I'd levy at this game at this point, is that I feel like missiles and or Mega Buster or whatever it's called are too similar still, and they're just I feel like they don't successfully differentiate them enough in purpose during combat. They're different keys to different locks and the exploration, but I feel like I should have a reason to use both the blast and the missile. I should have a reason to do this and this and this during combat, and like have reasons for each of them. Like, I'm almost thinking in terms of like Mass Effect 3 had a bunch of different armor bars, and you'd be like, oh, I gotta use biotics on this guy, and like fire on this guy because he's got armor and so on, or he's got a biotic shield, or he's got like energy shield, and those were like, you had to use like 3 different kinds of attacks to deal with different problems. That was like the most bare minimum differentiation. I would expect something more creative from a Nintendo game, I think, than just there's 3 attacks that arbitrarily work against these 3 things or whatever. But like, I always keep wondering, like, what am I supposed to be doing? Should I be shooting him with this, or should I be shooting him with this? And if you listen to the audience, they're just like, don't use Mega Blaster, it's super weak and garbage or whatever. Use the missiles all the time because it's stronger. But supposedly, eventually, the blast outpaces the missiles in damage because it gets upgraded more or something, or that was maybe true in Super Metroid or something. But like, to this day, like, at this point I'm about to beat the game, so it's not important, obviously. But in that, like, I didn't need to understand it to beat this game, whatever the power scaling is if there is one. But like, I would like a reason to use one or the other, specifically. Like, all the comments on like part 1 or 2 or whatever of the series was that people going off on the fact that I wasn't using missiles against that one boss with the scorpion tail, I think was the one. And like, but the boss didn't give me a reason to use missiles. Why would I use missiles? I have infinite ammo on this thing. Like, why doesn't he have like an armor thing that I defeat with the missiles, and then his weak spot I attack with the blast or something? Like, why do I have 2 different attacks if, as far as I can tell, at every point of the playthrough, one of them's just better than the other one, and there's a correct answer, which is an invisible correct answer, because once again, the reason why I'm not using the missiles during that first boss, then everyone lost their shit over it, and there was the entire comment section was like 50 comments of saying the same thing over and over again, even to the point where I went into my other account and jokingly made that comment, like, whoa, this guy's used missiles, and then like 10 more people still made that comment anyway after that point. After I was making fun of how everyone was making the same comment, it just kept going. It's just, well, it was just one comment 100 times. But like, when you shoot a guy, they don't have a health bar, so it doesn't go down, so you can't see how much damage you're doing, and no numbers pop up. And I don't really like numbers popping up in games, but like a health bar is an elegant way of showing how much damage something does. Without any kind of feedback, how do you know whether missiles versus blasts do more damage? So like, why is he making the game unnecessarily hard by using his blaster instead of missile? I like the blaster! This mode goes as fast as you press it, and this mode is the really satisfying fuck you attack from Super Smash Brothers. And also this game and all that. Like, this feels cool to use when you charge up the Super Blast and explode somebody. Who wouldn't want to do that? You feel like such a fucking cool boy every time you use your super attack as Samus or Mewtwo in Super Smash Brothers. So of course I want to use the charge up attack. That's cool. But like, no, correct answer was to do missiles the whole time. And it's like, okay, but why? How do you know that? Like, you go into the thingy and it's like, okay, how much damage do thing do? Oh, we don't tell you? There's no numbers in this game except for your ammo? Okay. Like, a lot of games are leaning away from telling you numbers, and that's frustrating if there's supposed to be a correct answer. This has been coming up in our Orcs Must Die playthrough too, because the game gives you like 50 traps to use and a bunch of different weapons, and it's like, okay, but how much damage do those things do? How often do those traps activate? What are their stats? What element are they? And it's like, they don't tell you. You just gotta like, you can't even necessarily even know from experimentation, because you there's no metric in the game for telling you how much damage a thing does. And there's no like training dummy to hit that reports the damage you did. And so like, that's the kind of thing, and it's like, one, I don't like that the information's obfuscated from you, so there's a correct yes or no answer of whether I should be doing this or this at any point in the playthrough. That's already like, I don't like the lack of clarity there. How do you know which one's better besides just like being plugged into the matrix and knowing from the collective audience discourse what the correct answer is, and then everyone pretending that they got there naturally when they just know from the collective, like, I watched 100 Super Metroid randomizers, now I know too much about the game. But also, like, even with clarity, I don't just want two different attacks that do the same thing, but one of them's better and the correct one to use. I want a thing that missiles do and a thing that the blaster does, and it feels like that needs to get figured out. Otherwise, it's just like, why do I have two different attacks besides having, you know, being a Swiss Army knife of Metroidvania door opening, which seems to be the only reason that there's two different attacks. So that's maybe more than anything else is my criticism of Metroid at the moment. It's just like, why don't these things do different things? This is where somebody was up to their dastardly plans. A refill station? Or an ambush? Nope, not getting attacked. Final save room? Remember how in Super Metroid the final save point was after a point of no return? Whoops. That wasn't very nice of them. That was a hell of a move for them to make. Alright. Well, I had to refill the shit out of that. Is this another transportation button? Yes, we're going even further. I wanted to see it go down and be like, ah, that's the secret room, I knew it. I still don't know what that secret room's for. Is the final boss the Eye? I was tricking you all along, Samus, just like you suspected earlier. Oh, she doesn't center it.
Metroid DNA has caused you to become a Metroid.
No, I'm a Samus.
Ordinarily, this would have happened immediately after the DNA transplant.
I'm a Samus, and my name is Anakin.
Your faux genes must have slowed down the process. They were the only tribe capable of controlling the Metroids. Though you possess their DNA, you are not a faux pas. Your physical prowess suggests that you must also possess Mockin DNA.
What the fuck? Once again, pretty sure she's human. I don't think this is how DNA works.
Metroids are programmed to identify Mockin as enemies. This suggests one thing to me. It is very probable that your metamorphosis occurred as a result of Raven Beak's attack. His presence awakened the Metroid's killer instinct.
I think Metroid engages in some Assassin's Creed level of refusing to understand what DNA is.
Since then, your metamorphosis has accelerated. It can no longer be controlled. You are now a Metroid, Samus Aran. Your very existence poses a grave threat to the galaxy.
It's the thing I said.
However, there is no need to fear. You can still contribute to galactic peace. You need only use your new powers correctly.
To kill yourself.
You have followed my instructions faithfully so far. Continue to do so. It's that simple. I consider your performance here on ZDR highly satisfactory. As I hoped, it has even awakened your Metroid powers. I was right to let you live during our first encounter. That one glimpse you showed told me everything.
I fucking called it.
Your power. My plan is the only way to bring order to the galaxy. Fulfill your destiny, Samus. This is an order. Disobedience will not be tolerated.
I absolutely called it that the ball was Raven Eye. Raven Beak. Once again, how does DNA work? Okay. Oh. Whoa! I don't like how close that camera gets. Am I hurting you? Ow. What is that? Oh, do I have to be a ball? What? Ow. I don't know. This is too much. Fuck you, I'm exploding. Let me guess, it does nothing because it's still not useful for boss fights. Ow. Ow. Yeah, I hear little duck noise, so that's counterable. Did I do a good job? Okay. You're orange? What does that mean? Why are you orange now? Have I damaged you yet a single time? I can't tell. I wish health bars were in this game. He keeps changing color, but none of the colors he is give me a damage notification. So I still have no idea if I've succeeded in doing a single damage so far. Okay. These fights are so much better than the ones in Super Metroid, partly because the controls are so much better and so on. But Metroid's got like feedback problems. In all three games I've played so far in this trilogy, Super Metroid, Metroid Prime, and Metroid Dread, the trilogy, they all have feedback problems where I'm like, am I doing it good? Am I doing it wrong? What should I do differently? I can't tell. There's just so much of that where I don't know what to do differently. Ka! Nope, you don't punch it. I'm just trying random shit, which has its own appeal, I guess, but I'm getting murdered while I'm doing it because I'm doing everything wrong. pressing the wrong buttons. My brain broke. I forgot how to shoot missiles. There we go. Okay, it keeps getting bigger, but I don't know what to do about it. What are the rules? Am I supposed to just live for as long as possible? Just fighting not do anything? They might be doing that. This thing never seems to explode, it just gets bigger, which seems bad. Oh, it blew up. Was that him blowing it up, or did I blow it up? Still not clear. Still don't know if I blew it up or he blew it up. Nope. Ow. 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 Oh, right, because dash has a cooldown, so I couldn't get past him. Fuck. I don't know what to do! What button am I not trying? I'll use my scan. Ow, I'm gonna die in this. Okay. Let's do a pulse of scanning. I am scanning already. I just started it. A bad example. I don't... What do I do? Also, can the game restart in the boss fight? Can I have a retry button instead of this? Just give me a retry button. People just want to retry the boss fight. What if I turn invisible? You can't find me. You know what? I think he can see me. I have a subtle idea that he might be able to see me. Fuck you! What? He seems mad. Okay. Is that the only thing that hurts him? Nope. You really do have to shoot it so much that it explodes? That's a lot of shooting. I see all the missiles I collected were pointless. Because he doesn't take damage from them. So, you can shove that 100% up your ass. What was he beckoning me for? What was I supposed to do? I can't melee him. I just get hurt by trying. Can I spin dash him? Well, he can do that to me. I get hurt by doing that. The most powerful attack I have that one-shots every enemy in the game, it fucking does that. This is... How the fuck do you deal with this black hole thing? It doesn't blow up in time. Ah! I have no idea what I'm doing. Why does it take so many attempts to learn these fights even a little bit? There are so many fights where I fight them like 5 times and I'm still like, I don't have a single idea what to do. And I am actively trying different things the whole time. I'm like, isn't that his whole moveset? or isn't that my whole moveset? And it was kind of obscure last, the shield thing? I had to counter the shield, then grapple it. I'm like, I guess that is what the grapple points looked like. Okay, so what looked like this? I can't think of anything that looked like what he does right now. Fuck. I hate that thing. Did I do it? God, I have to dash to get into it in time, but then he just dashes me back. He just beats me back, and then I can't dash in time because it's on cooldown to escape. That heals me. And now he's orange. That's my best chance of escaping that. I charged and attacked him, and that led to a counter? That's something. Yeah, I bumped him. You do this a lot. Ow. I'm so sick of this. I'm getting tired of pushing it so much, like I can't do it as fast anymore. Shit. Oh, shit. Stop DOAing me. That doesn't seem better. That doesn't seem more effective. Dash me, you prick. Ah, fuck. I thought he was doing something else, so I wasn't ready. Fuck! Jump out! You have to press forward while jumping to spin jump, and that's the only way to chain your jumps. But that means walking into him, which does damage to you. I don't understand. That seems like unreasonable amounts of having to shoot that. I have to be doing something wrong, but I don't know what else I could do on this character. I'm really sick of this combo. That was different. That's not how he behaved before. Fuck. No, don't be a ball. Stop! It's really annoying. Cut it out. I can't destroy it in time. Can't wait for every comment to be like, why isn't he doing this? He's gotta know you press the select button to beat him somehow. Fuck. I missed my one chance. He does this so many times. Do the thing that I can do something about. You dick. We're getting there. Whoop. Ah, fuck. 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 I hate it. I hate that attack so much. Ah, fuck. That did not give me any health. Shit. The ball punishes you for being too close to him, but the giant thing that covers the whole screen punishes you for being too far away, and he does them both at the same time! What are you supposed to do? I can't get in time to avoid damage, and I can't kill this thing fast enough to avoid its damage. I'm just taking damage from everything at the same time. And then he punches me while I'm dealing with the other two things! There's literally 3 attacks at the same time! I swear to fucking god, game. I'm getting tired during this fight. It's so long. I lived for like 10 minutes. What am I doing wrong? I saw new scenes, but like I have to fundamentally be doing it wrong. It can't be right. It's agony. Like, I hate it. It's not fun. There's parts of it that like, oh, this is fun, but like that fucking ball is agony. It's ruining the entire fight because I don't understand at all what to do about it, and it's literally all he does. I've shot missiles at it. I've shot at other stuff. What does it want from me? That isn't a telegraphed like element of the game from before, as far as I can tell. Like, when have I ever encountered a big black purple ball that chases you that gets bigger when you shoot it? That's not part of the game's visual language. I don't know what that means. Oops, I spilled some water on my phone. That's always good. It's fine. It's just a few drops.
Uploading data.
Just a moment of panic. Ow, fuck, we go aggro fast. Okay. Ah, fuck. Fuck! What do all the colors that you are mean? Shit. Why isn't he constantly shooting the orb at me while he's doing the other thing? Oh shit, that blew it up way faster. What's the point of all these upgrades to my beam if it still sucks? I just want to know how much damage things do, man. With how many times you upgrade the beam and the missile, how are you supposed to know how strong either of them is? Ah, fuck. Yeah, I didn't jump! That guy's really okay. Ah, fuck. That's what red is. Why do I not read that immediately? I just feel like it's gonna be a projectile. I don't know if I'm wasting these missiles or not. Like, the game won't tell me if I'm doing damage. And I really wish it would. I'm making progress somehow. But I don't know when and where. Normally, enemies flash when you do damage to them and don't flash when you don't do damage to them. This guy never flashes, but I somehow proceed to the next phase. Because we did like a crazy cutscene eventually. Ah, fuck. Jump! God damn it. I'm still having trouble with getting her to do the spin jump when I want her to. She'll do a normal jump, and I'm like, didn't I press a direction? Isn't that all I need? I was waiting for another counter, but it didn't happen that time. Oh wow, she's shooting faster than normal. Oh shit, a phase change. We're getting somewhere. Oh. I guess that makes sense, that you would have wings at some point. It's kind of core to your design. What the f- How do I avoid that? Ah. How do I avoid that? It's right on me. What are you expecting from me there? Hey. Axis of rotate. God fucking damn it, spin jump. I wish it was just, I wish her double jump was just a jump, like in every other game. Ah! It's always gotta be like, you gotta specifically be triggering the spin jump, and it doesn't quite trigger, and I can't always tell how I fucked it up. I'm like, I'm just pressing a direction and jumping every time, but sometimes it doesn't work, and I don't know why. And so instead of doing what I want, she just falls, and then I'm like, oh cool, I guess I lose. It's just my second game with the spin jump, and I still don't know why. I still can't consistently figure out why it doesn't work sometimes. I'm gonna be here for hours, aren't I? How many phases do you have? Should I be worried? Am I doing damage to you at all? Am I doing damage to you? Because I feel like my missile caused that, but the game's not giving me the damage flicker, which would make me think that I shouldn't be shooting you during these parts. Like it's a waste. But I just triggered a cutscene in the middle of one of those segments. I feel like we're making progress like holy shit fast right now. And I'm not entirely sure what I did differently. Fuck. That was really fast by comparison. I didn't duck in time, I guess. Oh, fuck. Fuck. What? and I hit him. Damn it. Nope. Don't dash into him. Damn it. Really? Do I have to do I have to be a ball? Do I have to double tap it in time? Yeah. I like that he flickers when I shoot him now, because I have feedback that I am in fact doing damage. Ow. Ah, fuck. Fuck. Fuck.
It's like a one-winged angel, oh my god.
Wait, that seems unnecessary. Oh god, why? Did they grow back? That's terrifying. Oh no. Should I be worried about that? I feel like I should be worried about that. What? What? Okay, that's really distracting. I have to do a fight at the same time? Oh god. What? I have to do a fight while that's happening? For all I know, there's 6 more phases. What the fuck? Jesus. Alright, at least I know what I'm doing now. It's always tempting to go back and delete every rant or frustration I have because you know, I just know I'm gonna get like 100 comments about that. People just go to the Space Pirate and Ridley episodes of Metroid Prime and just insult me every day. Like I mean, like I know it's something that's gonna happen. I might as well just delete the content and then not leave it there for anybody because, you know, it's better than slowly resenting Metroid because I get insulted over it all the time. Ugh. Does he only take damage during that cutscene? Is that what that means? So many of my complaints about Metroid and Resident Evil will be fixed by just having health bars in boss fights. Resident Evil 6 in particular is just like, am I hurting him? I've been fighting this boss for 10 minutes. I would like to know if I'm damaging him or not. Call me greedy. Man, you better understand you can fight him during cutscenes or you can't beat this phase, as far as I can tell. Which itself is like a secret feature? I feel like the game doesn't necessarily introduce very well that you can fight during cutscenes besides counters, because that's not how people playing this game, like most games, will probably oh, you open with that! They'd probably interpret the cutscenes as being a QTE, which is usually just reacting to what you're told to react to. You usually can't fight back during those. That's really unusual that it works that way in this game. And I'm not sure if the game ever taught me that, but here it's mandatory to beat the game. That's maybe a little too arcane, unnecessarily. I thought it was going to be over by then. Shit. I like this phase a lot. Ah, fuck. But I still have trouble with the fucking jump. It's just jumping. Why is it so hard? I don't understand why it's hard. Or how I'm fucking it up. A little uncomfortably close to a wall here. I guess we're fine. Phase 3, the fuck you phase, apparently. This phase is terrifying. Ow, shit. Ow. Uh-oh. Oh god, these at the same time? Okay, it's gone. Oh shit, this is back? I thought he was summoning another sun. Did I not press it in time? No! Don't throw this away, man. I don't want to start over. Oh, fuck. At least it's a long opening. Is that counterable or not? I don't think it is. Fuck. I don't think that's counterable. Jesus Christ, a long fight. No, not cancel. Although I probably should take a break again. I've already taken a break during this, and I should probably take another break. It's RSI inducing. You know what, can I hold it? No, because it's storm missile. If only you could hold missile down. Hammering it so much. Now, come on, jump. Come on! Is this cutscene triggered by you ducking under that attack, specifically? And not doing damage, necessarily? It seems weirdly consistent, like that's exactly how it's caused. Seems like a weird correlation to draw. Didn't he used to require me to counter him again during that, but now he doesn't? Or is that a different move? That's the one. That's the one where you counter twice. Fuck you! But. Oh, fuck. Ow. Oh, it's gonna feel weird to do this backwards. Again? Shit. Fuck. That's a lot of health gone. One mistake still means losing like 20% of your health. Wow, I'm just missing. Ah, fuck. Damn it. Double tap down is rough. Fuck. That's a big ol' opening. I lost way too much health, damn it. A lot of it's the dash that I can't double tap fast enough for. Gross. Fuck. God, you have to like bait it to being on the ground. Ah, fuck. The openings are slightly changing for the sun each time. It's a lot to take in. You're still doing it! No, I thought I did press it. What? Oh, shit. Fuck you. Big damage, big damage, big damage. You miss out on so much damage if you miss this counter. It's such an opening. Ah, fuck, that was new. Shit. Hmm? I thought she was gonna literally tear his head off. I'm like, how far is this Nintendo game about to go? Watching someone seemingly get strangled to death is pretty far already by this brand expectation. Jesus. Oh. just turn into Krang or whatever? Or what's it got? Kraid? With a bird head instead of an alien mouth? Oh my god. Nasty. Wait, oh god, we're going places. Okay. Shit. Where we're going? I can just shoot through stuff. Okay. It's interesting that that's this. I can't think right now. Oh, I'm back in the level from earlier that I was just secret hunting through. We're back here. I know where I am. Still can't use this door, though. Oh. Something must be destructible around here. Go this way? Oh, is it time for the secret room? It's the secret room! Payoff! Fuck this door! Don't accidentally blow up the ship, though.
You will drain the ship of its energy.
What did that mean? Did an X choose to help her? Or does the Chozo maintain his sentience despite becoming an X? I thought the X's were like parasites that replaced them, and the original thing just doesn't exist anymore. In fact, it almost felt like a little bit of a weird... I mean, I don't think they care about Samus killing people, but it almost felt like a switch out where they have the villain get turned into an X at the last second, so Samus actually kills an X and not her dad? Was he speaking metaphorically about daughter? I don't know what daughter meant in that context for sure. I don't know. That one Chozo guy seemed neat. It's sad that he dies literally in the cutscene that you meet him in. But then he shows up in the end, I guess, to take your super suit away so you can go back. What I was thinking about during the escape that I couldn't formulate it because I was too busy is that it is neat how, like, normally in Nintendo games there isn't much continuity. Like, there's a big struggle, but then you beat it, and then you don't really, like, nothing really changes to the canon of each universe, like Mario and all that, for the most part. Like, there's usually not that much, like, game-to-game continuity that matters. I guess you would technically, like, add Rosalina at some point. Like, sometimes she might show up later. Like, there might be a character that shows up that then becomes part of the canon. But there's not, like, a game-to-game continuity that seems to matter. I'm saying this while thinking immediately, like, oh yeah, people are gonna talk about Zelda, I guess. And there's a couple of Zeldas that are direct sequels, but mostly it's, like, a really vague connective tissue that only kind of makes sense. And almost as if to just give up on that whole thing, Breath of the Wild, I think, breaks the timeline by seemingly being a sequel to all of the timelines, which makes even less sense. But we can't do the Zelda timeline argument again. But, like, the Metroid games star one character that seems to have a tendency to physically change from game to game, like, over the course of each game, and each game has a relative lack of narrative, so there's not that much going on, but what is going on almost always seems to involve her changing in some way. Like the baby Metroid stuff in Super Metroid, and then she apparently has, like, she's like part X and part Metroid and so on, and this game has her becoming, like, full Metroid or something, which, admittedly, what does that even mean in some of these cases? Because once again, like, what is, she can't be full Metroid, she's person. She's still human, being human-y shaped and acting human. She has, like, a power or something, but whatever. Like, there's like a thing changing from time to time, to the point where, like, even though there's relatively little story in each game, there's, like, a recap that is a little necessary at some point, where you, like, point out, like, okay, here's what's happened at this point, because there's been some shit. Now, I think I saw a weird timeline where, like, the whole Metroid Prime trilogy takes place between these two Metroid games or something, so things are a little confusing, and, like, Kraid keeps coming back. I don't know what that means necessarily. Are there just more Kraids all over the place? Is he just, like, an iconic enemy? Oh, this game didn't have Mother Brain or Ridley. I assume Mother Brain is actually dead for good in Super Metroid when she gets drained, so she's probably been dead for most of the series at this point. And by now, maybe Ridley got killed in a previous game. I don't know. I imagine Ridley was probably in the first game, but he was definitely in Super Metroid, and in Super Metroid, Ridley explodes or something? But I think that's just how bosses do, so it's hard to tell if any of the guys actually died in that game, or if they just, like, exploded like a Mega Man boss, but they're fine somehow. Ridley, I think, showed up in Prime, and I think ran away, maybe. Or did they I don't remember if they exploded or not. I don't know. Anyway, yeah, I got frustrated, and that happens. And then when you're commentating, when you're frustrated, you sound frustrated, and some people can't get over that, but that's what some of that was. I would have had more fun if the fight was clearer. Is this like a how well you did ending, like in the OG Metroid? 10.5 hours. See you next mission. Metroid Zero mission? That's a different game, isn't it? What? Wait, what? Why? Why did it say Metroid Zero mission? It just showed me a picture of the Metroid Zero mission with no context. I'm like, that's not this game. Is Zero Mission the remake of the first game, I think? It's an ending reward, so you collect gallery pieces via the ending. but I'd never seen the gallery, so I didn't know there was even items in here. Hide UI is X. That guy versus E.M.M.I. There's Kraid again, I guess, getting captured. With his gross spike zits. He's gross. He's so gross. And Chozo scientists. They look a lot like elites here. I'd like have a double take of looking at their beak faces. Because they look a lot like the Sangheili. Just gonna throw them into the maw. Chozo are kind of awful. Or these ones were. There's like tribes. It is remarkable how similar Halo and Metroid look at this point. There's Mother Brain and some commander in the background and Chozo up there. There's a lot going on here. But it's got an E.M.M.I in it, so you think that this is for this game, but why is Mother Brain in a poster for this game? Is that Other M, maybe? Or E.M.M.I's in Other M? It almost felt like a criticism of Other M or something, or like a nod at that. Because this game did the twist that is very common in puzzle games, where you have the villain. You have it turn out that the guiding voice that you were listening to all game was actually the villain, and at this point I'm used to calling that twist because it happens so often in puzzle games. Partly because like uncovering secrets you're not meant to just slots really easily and naturally into a puzzle game's gameplay. Like it's not really even bad. It just makes a lot of sense. But then specifically, I know that Other M was infamous for having like not you discovering powers, but you like playing through a campaign and some dude is telling you what to do the whole game, and he just gives you permission to use your. Oh, Ridley's there. I just spotted him too. And like he almost felt like negative space because he's the color of the background. But the like I guess some guy just gives you permission to use your powers throughout the campaign, and suddenly you just have new powers, and you're like, that's weird. Why would it work that way? I think that was Team Ninja, which I'd believe them making bad games because freaking Ninja Gaiden 3 was just garbage. And I think, isn't this game also made by a different company too? That isn't Nintendo? They did eventually trust Metroid, and maybe they should do it more often. It's been an eternity since, like, these games are Metroid games are so rare. But it almost feels like a reaction to that, like people hating the dude telling you what to do all game, and then giving you permission to use your powers and all that. And so in the next game, and they're like, the guy telling you what to do is the villain, actually. He's the evil Chozo daddy. The narration, even the like vague daddy problems of being commanded what to do all game slot weirdly into rebelling against the narrator and all that. Just a recap of every piece of progress, I guess. Alright, well that was Super Metroid, or that was Metroid Dread. They continue to be flawed games, in my perspective. There's just... This is definitely the best one so far, I want to say. Although I think I liked exploring Metroid Prime more. But the first person introduces all new control issues for the series. But in this one in particular, you're just such a ridiculous Swiss Army knife with so many abilities that it just gets rough trying to control them all the different combinations of like hold these two buttons because like one of them activates the mode and one of them aims so you don't run around like a lunatic because your character is really fast in this game. So you really need to plant your feet with the other button. So you're holding two buttons to then press another button, then you gotta hold that button to grapple, then release the buttons you were holding but keep the grapple button. It's like, holy, oh. And there's a few moments where I'm just like, I'll just cycle through like several button combinations that feel familiar, trying to feel out the right one. And it's just like, she just has a lot of abilities. Then like weird elements of like how like the dash puzzles are neat, but there's like finicky elements and unexplained elements that just feel rude. That there's just a bunch of properties of the dash that are never explained, but also like it breaks so easily that you think you can't do half the stuff that you turn out to be able to do. But also jumping and dashing are the same button, even though most of the buttons aren't being used when you're in that state, so it feels like they could have gotten away with using something else instead of what they used, instead of having one button do two things. But way above all else, well, above all those things, the map, I think, has clarity issues. There's no settings to turn off all the silhouettes of things you've already collected, which I don't know why that's on by default. Like, seeing all of the things you've already collected, it's like that just makes the map noisier. I want to be able to quickly spot more important information, like things that I've seen before but have not collected, which can be relatively hard to spot. There's a few finicky things we encountered there, but then on a whole other floor above that is just, there's some feedback issues, which they're getting better at than ever before. But in all 3 Metroid games I've played, I just hit points where I'm fighting a dude and I'm like, why won't they take damage? Like, what am I missing here? And it's always been a thing with like Zelda games too, but in Zelda games it's part of the problem with the fact that the games have like 20 items and you're like, okay, geez, does the spin disc do it? Does the bomb do it? And you just try to figure it out, and sometimes it's intuitive and you were being a fool, and sometimes it's really stupid, like that enemy in I think A Link to the Past that could only be attacked by spin attacks for some reason. Like, normal swords didn't work, but spin attack did work, and it was the only enemy in that entire game that was only damageable by spin attack. So up till then, spin attack was seen as just a higher damage version of attack, but not a new state of thing. But there was one enemy that could only be hurt by the charged version, and it's like, well, you never, that was never considered a separate option until now, so I wouldn't know to check that. This one, like, missiles and blasts aren't differentiated enough function-wise, so you're basically just given a correct answer that one does more damage than the other one, but you keep upgrading both of them constantly, and at no point will the game tell you how much damage either of them does, so you still aren't sure which one does more damage. You would think at some point that the blast does more damage because it's been upgraded so severely so many times, but then turns out the missile seems to do more damage by the end, because I could blow up that energy orb with 4, whereas the blast took all of my blasting power and I just couldn't get anywhere with it, and it was giving me a bad time. It's like, I really wish that they would split those 2 attacks into serving different purposes entirely, so there's reason to use both of them, and then you're not just having this weird tug of war of like, which one does enough damage? It sucks to have a way harder time in a fight just because you're using the wrong projectile, but not in a way that's in any way, like, shown to be the wrong projectile by the game. Like, for example, one of them just not working and the other one working. You're like, oh, that's the one I use. And a health bar is helpful. That final boss fight is just, like, by the time I got good at it, eventually it was fun, but there was still some ambiguity to it. Mostly I just don't like phase 1 and how he's covered in an aura, and the game just makes it really unclear like how to proceed. And so at some point you're like, is this scripted or am I damaging him? Like, he flashes when I shoot him during the cutscenes, but then that asks the question of how do I trigger the cutscenes? Like, some of them are obvious and some of them aren't. Like, one of them is he charges me and I counter him, and then a cutscene happens where I can keep shooting him. I'm like, okay, that makes sense. The other time I eventually realized he taunts you, and if you run up to him, that causes another counter sequence where you can then shoot him a lot. Like, okay. But then it seems like ducking under that one screen-spanning attack causes a cutscene where you can counter him, and I'm like, wait, why? Why does that one do that? Like, to the point, and I kept shooting with missiles, so it made more sense that the missiles triggered it via a damage threshold than ducking, but at one point I think I ducked without doing a missile, and it also triggered that cutscene. And nothing in my brain can make sense of the idea that the screen is red attack, where that you duck under, somehow triggers a vulnerability cutscene afterwards. Like, why are those two correlated? And in many cases, I'm just like, I feel like almost all boss fights can be improved by having a health bar. Just because so many questions are answered as in the ambiguity of whether or not things are doing damage by just seeing a health bar reduce as a result of being shot. You're like, oh shit, it's working. Okay. And then you have an idea that things are good. Like, I'll always talk back to the example of me playing Resident Evil 6 and falling asleep during a boss fight because I'm just shooting him continuously and he wasn't really a threat, so he couldn't really hit me. But like, I was so bored shooting him continuously because I couldn't tell if I was making progress, and eventually it I literally fell asleep, and I'm like, that's incredible. But like, just feedback is good. I don't think it damages like the atmosphere or anything. I think health bars are a perfectly reasonable thing to do to just let you know how things are going. I think that maybe in the like, I can see a point where maybe in Resident Evil 7 the desperation of those fights that might benefit from making it ambiguous to whether or not you're even doing well. But Metroid is just like skill-based, reflex-based, do the right thing at the right moment. Like, it's a very normal boss fight with no special caveats of that I can see of why you'd want to not have a health bar. And in fact, Prime had health bars. Prime had some other issues, some of which I remember and some of which I don't at this point, but it did have health bars, so it's not like that's antithetical to Metroid at this point. It has precedent, and it would have resolved a lot of my ambiguity, a lot of my problems of just trying to figure out whether or not something's taking damage or not. Which, like, normally it's like, oh, they flash when they take damage and they don't flash when they don't. But I think that phase 1 of that fight was a special case in that you're stuck in a situation for so long where nothing seems to be working and you're not getting any feedback and you're trying everything. At some point, just having the certainty of, oh, okay, I'm not damaging him, would be really conducive to being less frustrating. Because since you're shooting him so much and he's not taking damage, you're like, I don't know. He keeps glowing different colors. Maybe those are force fields. Maybe he's not quote unquote taking damage, but I'm weakening his force field by shooting the right type of attack. Like, sometimes he's orange and sometimes he's purple, so maybe purple I shoot him with my plasma, and maybe when he's orange I shoot him with rockets. Like, you start like trying to rationalize what the fuck's happening, and you start having massive logical dead ends trying to solve this thing because it's not giving you the feedback you need. And it's like, that fight should be so much more fun if that wasn't happening, because like, overall it's a cool fight to like to get used to, and like, I got a lot better at it obviously, and that was satisfying. But it would have been just as satisfying without being stuck on phase 1 for like 6 attempts in a row because I can't tell what's happening. Like, I specifically had more fun with the other phases because they weren't confusing. Like, I knew exactly what was happening. Like, I would get blindsided by each attack the first time it happened, but then I'm like, okay, that's a thing he does. He dashes and I gotta duck under it by turning into a ball. Oh, he shoots a sun that does projectiles while he's shooting his laser. That's a fucking nightmare, but I understand what's happening. And like, that's a huge difference. It's such a big difference to be like, oh god, how am I gonna beat that? But I know what's happening, versus, okay, I've been fighting him for 10 minutes and nothing's what? It's actually impressive how different my opinions are as far as the quality of the boss fight about one boss fight. Like, I have such a valley and such a peak in the same boss fight where that was simultaneously like the best and worst boss fight in the entire game. And like, that's just weird. I don't know. I like just being able to tell what's happening, I guess. Anyway, this was another Metroid. I'll probably eventually play all of them. It'll probably, who knows when, but eventually. I wouldn't mind playing more of these, and also some Castlevanias, because I like these kinds of games. It is interesting seeing how, in some ways, some of these Metroids are like the least Metroidvanias of all the Metroidvanias. Like, this one in particular had some weirdness going on where it felt like you're supposed to just beat the game and then go back and explore, which was weird. I don't know if I loved that. To some extent, like, and I think I've heard the franchise does this over the course of itself, but like, to some extent, I would like having a gesture towards where I'm supposed to go so I can kind of keep track, but then the complete freedom to just kind of fuck off and go wherever I want. Not literally wherever I want, but I mean like to go experiment and see what I can open now with my new powers. And so having a comprehensive map that helps me keep track of where I'm going and explore and see what I've found so far, and then like poke at all the stuff that I would like to follow up on, that's good. But it wouldn't hurt to have like a kind of mission waypoint. Like I think Metroid Prime had that, where it'd point out like, go that way. And even Super Metroid might have done that, or I think it marked bosses or something and was like, there's a boss down there, somehow find it. Like it wasn't like a Dead Space laser for you to follow on the floor. That's too much. But like a vague waypoint, like off in the fog of map that you haven't discovered yet, you're like, okay, that's my goal. And then you can kind of screw off and run around. This game didn't have that, so there was kind of the fear that if I got off the beaten track and explored, I would lose track of where I was even trying to go because the map had no direction to it. And so you'd be like, shit, where was I even supposed to go? Because it's actually genuinely hard to follow the through line of this game because it's such a tangled knot. But that could be solved by a waypoint, or just kind of a gesture of like just kind of a glowing area on the map, even if it's a really big vague one, just to indicate what direction to go and when you feel like pursuing the main story. Instead, their approach was just to constantly lock the door behind you in various ways, like having a point of no return drop where you fell past the fall through tiles and now you can't go back, or a door just closing behind you, or debris or stuff like that. And so that led to a situation where you kind of always felt like you were exploring, which was really cool how they were able to pull that off, where you always felt like you were finding a secret and then the secret was where you were supposed to go and you're like, oh shit. Like that's good play conditioning, in that you are engaging in secret hunting in order to even continue. And so it makes it so you're constantly in the right headspace to solve the game. But while that was an elegant way to keep you on task at all times, you were like pretty railroaded for a lot of the game, and that was kind of frustrating. And I don't know, the trade-off there is a bit iffy, I think. But anyway, that was Metroid Dread. I don't really have I had like a pause, and then I was like, okay, here comes the closing thought, and I didn't really have one. Bye.